The Empress Vorlana was not having a good cycle. She stood on the observation deck of her flagship, the Crimson Talon, watching 28 of the galaxy's finest engineers file out of the engine room. Each wore the same expression, defeat mixed with profound confusion. The last one, the Belthorian with 6 manipulator arms, looked like he might actually cry. Well, Vorlana's voice could freeze plasma. Anyone care to explain why my ship still sounds like a dying rock beast? Silence. Long, beautiful, infuriating silence. The lead engineer, a pompous Arkelian named Tom Vesic, finally cleared his throat. Your Majesty, with all due respect, the quantum flux regulator is operating in a manner that defies 17 known laws of physics. We have run diagnostics 42 times. The mathematics simply do not work. And yet, Vorlana said, her tail swishing dangerously, my ship is still trying to tear itself apart. How delightful. The Crimson Talon had been the pride of the Imperial fleet until 3 rotations ago. Since then, every hyperspace jump came with a seizure-inducing light show and a 50-50 chance of gravity reversing. Vorlana had lost track of how many breakfast platters now lived permanently on the ceiling. Perhaps, Tom ventured carefully, we should consider a full system replacement. It would only take 6 months and approximately 14 billion credits. Vorlana's eye twitched. Get out. Your Majesty, I really think. Out. The engineers scattered like startled prey animals. Vorlana turned to her aide, a nervous young Sylphian named Pip. Tell me we have other options. Pip's antenna drooped. There is one more engineer on the station. But, you specifically said you never wanted to work with humans again after the incident with Ambassador Richards and the diplomatic dessert tower. That was different, Vorlana said flatly. Richards was intentionally problematic. She paused. How desperate am I, Pip? On a scale of 1 to 10? Somewhere around catastrophic, Your Majesty. Vorlana exhaled slowly. Fine. Send for the human. 40 minutes later, Marcus Webb shuffled onto her flagship wearing the most aggressively casual outfit Vorlana had ever seen. Cargo shorts. Actual cargo shorts. In the presence of an empress. He had a tool belt slung over one shoulder, a coffee mug in the other that read Galaxy's okayest dad, and the unmistakable look of someone who had already dealt with far too much nonsense today. So, Marcus said, taking a long sip of coffee, I hear you've got a problem. Vorlana's diplomatic training wrestled violently with her desire to eject him out an airlock. Diplomacy won. Barely. My flagship's engines are malfunctioning. 28 engineers have failed to fix it. The symptoms include, quantum flux regulator acting weird, gravity doing the cha-cha, lights throwing a rave during hyperspace jumps. Marcus set his mug down on a priceless Antarian meditation altar. Vorlana's, I twitched again. I read the reports. Mind if I take a look? By all means, Vorlana said through clenched teeth. Marcus wandered into the engine room like he was inspecting his garage. Vorlana followed, Pip scurrying behind. The massive quantum drive hummed, whirred, and occasionally produced that horrible dying rock beast sound. Marcus circled it once, twice, then lay flat on his back and slid underneath. Hand me the torque calibrator, he called out. Pip looked at Vorlana. Vorlana looked at Pip. Neither of them had any idea what that was. The silver thing with the blue grip. Marcus called. Come on, people, work with me here. Vorlana, Empress of the 12 sectors, Keeper of the Eternal Flame, Supreme Commander of the Imperial Fleet, picked up the tool and passed it under the engine like a mechanic's assistant. She was going to need so much therapy after this. Clanging echoed from beneath the drive. Then cursing. Then more clanging. Then Marcus muttered, Oh, you have got to be kidding me, in a tone that suggested the universe had personally insulted him. He slid back out, grease smeared across his shirt, looking deeply offended. Well, Vorlana demanded. Marcus pointed to a small component near the flux regulator. See that resonance dampener? Yes. It's installed backwards. The silence that followed could have swallowed stars. Backwards, Vorlana repeated slowly. Yep, upside down. Someone flipped it during the last maintenance cycle. It's been fighting the quantum flux ever since, creating a feedback loop that makes everything go insane. Marcus wiped his hands on his shorts. I can fix it in about 20 minutes, assuming you've got a phase spanner. And maybe lunch. I skipped breakfast dealing with my daughter's science project. Vorlana stared at him, then at the engine, then at Pip, whose antenna had gone completely rigid. 28 engineers, she said quietly. 28 of the galaxy's best engineers examined this. Yeah, Marcus said, picking up his coffee. Sometimes you need someone used to fixing things held together with duct tape and prayer. You'd be amazed what raising a 10-year-old teaches you about impossible problems. Marcus had the resonance dampener flipped right side up in 12 minutes flat. In the process, he also fixed 3 other issues the elite engineers had somehow missed. A loose plasma coupling, a misaligned thermal vent, and what he described as just generally awful cable management. Seriously, who organized this, a caffeinated squirrel? Vorlana watched in stunned silence as this human, this father in cargo shorts, did what 28 certified experts could not. All right, Marcus said, wiping his hand one last time. Fire her up. Let's see if she purrs. Pip activated the engines from the control panel. The quantum drive came alive, smooth as silk. No dying Vrock beast noises. No flickering lights. Gravity stayed exactly where gravity belonged. It was, in a word, perfect. Vorlana felt something she had not experienced in weeks. Hope, run a hyperspace diagnostic, she ordered. Pip's fingers flew across the console, initiating jump sequence in 3, 2. The Crimson Talon slipped into hyperspace like a knife through butter. No seizure-inducing lights. No gravity inversion. Just smooth, beautiful, almost boring normalcy. When they returned to normal space, Vorlana turned to Marcus. Her expression hovered somewhere between gratitude and barely contained fury. How? She demanded. How did you see what they missed? Marcus shrugged, reaching for his coffee mug. Because I didn't overthink it. Those engineers? They're so used to complicated problems that they went hunting for complicated answers. Ran every fancy diagnostic, checked every advanced system, and completely ignored the basics. He took a sip. It's like when my daughter's toy stops working. Could be the quantum batteries. Could be the AI core. But 9 times out of 10, he smiled. Someone just put the batteries in backwards. You compare my flagship to a child's toy, Vorlana said flatly. Hey, her toys are advanced, Marcus replied. She's got a robot that can solve calculus. He grinned. But yeah, same principle. Complex systems fail in simple ways. You just need someone willing to check the obvious. Pip stepped forward nervously. Your Majesty, diagnostics are complete. All systems are operating at 112% efficiency. That is above factory specifications. Vorlana turned sharply. Ow! Oh, I tweaked the plasma flow rate while I was down there. You were running it too conservatively. Safety regulation stuff. He waved a hand. She can handle more. Trust me. Trust you. Vorlana echoed, her laugh sharp. I do not even know you. Marcus Webb, freelance engineer, stationed on Hub 7 while my daughter finishes her school term. 15 years in deep space construction before that. Fixed mining rigs, luxury cruisers, and, once, Xanthian pleasure barge with a concerning wobble. He paused. We don't talk about the pleasure barge. Despite herself, Vorlana smiled. What do I owe you for this miracle? Well, your engineers were probably charging 50,000 credits each, Marcus said, pretending to calculate. So how about 500 credits? And a good word with the station master? My lease is up next month. 500 credits, Vorlana repeated softly. You solve what 28 experts could not for 500 credits. And the good word, Marcus added. Words are valuable currency. Vorlana laughed. Actually laughed. You are either the worst negotiator in the galaxy, she said, or the most refreshingly honest. Can it be both? Pip, transfer 20,000 credits to Mr. Webb's account and draft a recommendation so glowing it could guide ships through dark space. She extended her hand. You have my gratitude, Marcus Webb. Marcus shook it. Just doing my job, Your Majesty. Though this definitely makes my top 5 weirdest Tuesdays. What were the other 4? Vorlana asked. You really don't want to know? There was a space elevator, a wedding cake, and 14 very angry Glorthian priests. He lifted his tool belt. If you ever need anything fixed, you have my contact info. Just know, I charge double on weekends, and I don't miss my daughter's soccer games. Your daughter plays soccer? Pip asked. Yeah, she's terrible, Marcus said fondly. But she loves it. So I cheer. After he left, Vorlana stood in her now-perfect engine room. Your Majesty? Pip asked carefully. Should we inform the engineering guild about the backwards dampener? Vorlana considered it. 28 engineers. 14 billion credits. 6 months of downtime. No, she said at last. They'll figure it out. Eventually, she returned to the observation deck, her flagship running smoother than it had in cycles, saved by a human father in cargo shorts who charged less than her morning coffee budget. The galaxy, Vorlana decided, was completely ridiculous. And somewhere on Hub 7, Marcus Webb was probably already fixing another impossible problem with common sense and a decent tool belt. If this story entertained or taught you something, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow and bring you more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next story.